Okay, so usually this only happens when I get more than my normal amount of sleep. So I woke up and normally I've been going to sleep listening to, meditation music and chakra opening music. And I don't know what it was, but maybe it was something within me or something that one of my chakras been opened. But I literally just woke up from one of the most horrifying dreams I've ever had in my entire life. It kind of went like this. So it's going to be easier for me to talk it and speak it rather than type it. So what it was is I've had this dream recurring before where I'm at somebody's house where me and, I hate to name names, but it's like me, Harry, and one of his brothers. But the brother isn't his brother. It's some other random cat. I could probably place a face of the guy who is the Harry's brother person is like one of those cats I just seen from a movie lately. Um, Damn, what is that movie? I'll think of it later. But basically, long story short, short as I can possibly make it, is I have the same reoccurring dream. It's me and a homie's brother, but the brother isn't really like his brother normal in real life. It's just, his brother in that world. So we go to these people's house, and it's almost like I can relate it to like a trailer park house where, it's a dysfunctional family. Everyone drinks. The uncle drinks, all we do. And we're pretty much going over there to fuck these chicks, these two girls. So, they're party chicks and we're party dudes. We're young, and, I wouldn't say we're much younger than we are right now. We're only a couple years younger than I would be right now. But anywho, so basically what happens is we go over to these chicks' house, everything's all good, and I've never made it farther than a certain point in this dream because it's reoccurring. But today I lived it farther than I've ever lived it before, and it's so fucking horrifying because it's a toxic environment of this dream, where we go there and our initial goal is to, just have sex with these girls and party with them and all that stuff. Um, you know, um, but eventually we drink and I pass out and I wake up to watching one of the uncles pretty much self-mutilate himself in a state of possession where he's possessed by a demon. And I wake up and I see the uncle moving and looking at himself, which really he's just fell asleep against the mirror. And the mirror is what's looking at him, and he starts stabbing himself and ripping off his flesh until he's in a state, and it wakes everyone up, and he's in a state of almost, he's almost dead. So then the family starts tending to him, and then through time or something, I forget what happens, but eventually it jumps me to this point because I woke up from that. And then once I went back into sleep to pretty much re-enter this world so that I could, continue the dream and figure out what really happens. So basically against my, better judgment, I enter back into the dream state in order to go back into this world. So once I re-enter, basically the uncle's been rushed away from the hospital, and everyone's missing now. Everyone's kind of gone. So I wake up back in this trailer park kind of home, and the two girls are gone, and my two buddies are gone. So I'm at this house still, and the parents are traumatized, and everything is kind of really messed up, and there's blood and stuff everywhere. So I'm basically just waiting at this house that I don't really know too well. It's like, these girls' house. I don't even really know the family that well, but I'm waiting for them in order for them to come back. So basically, eventually, the brother of my friend shows up, but it's not him. He's basically possessed. The demon has left the uncle and has entered my buddy's brother. But like I said, it's not really his brother. It's like some, it's not his brother in this world, it's his brother in that world. So, okay, to continue this, the brother shows up and we've been looking for him. So I'm hoping that he's all right, but it's not him. He has wounds and stuff on him and he's not acting right. So basically I almost have to, I lay him on this couch and then, I have the only defense which I had at the time, which was a baseball bat. So this metal Louisville Slugger, whatever kind of baseball bat, and he's acting really weird, and he has these wounds on him. So I said, get on the couch and don't move. Don't move. So I'm contacting the family and stuff, and basically letting them know that he's returned. And then he starts acting out weird, and he's trying to lash out at me. So I pretty much hit him with the baseball bat, and really good, enough to, fatally wound him. But it doesn't seem to faze him at all. So he's just taking these blows, and I pretty much like break his leg in order to stop him from advancing, but the bones protrude from his body, and it doesn't seem to affect him at all. And then while I'm sitting there watching him, he distracts me by yanking out his bone and throwing it at me from his leg. And then he gets up, runs, jumps through the window of a sliding glass door, and then hops 2-3 fences, which for some reason I try to follow him, but there's like a giant black panther in the neighbor's yard, which could be related to just a big dog or something if I was at a younger age. But anywho, long story short, he takes off. So, which is so crazy because now he's like a pretty much demon possessed, and I'm letting the family know, like calling them saying, hey, he showed up and then this happened, and then, everything's going on. So basically the family shows up, and, they see the blood and glass and everything, and, so we arm ourselves. So now we have pistols. And then the girls show up. One by one, the 2 girls show up, and my buddy shows up. But my buddy seems to be fine, and I forget which order they showed up in. But the girls show up, and they're brutally mutilated. One of them has had their arm chopped off, and the other one has had their foot amputated, and they're all like ghetto tied off, like they were dragged, and they're all wounded and stuff too, like they were dragged away from the house. Mutilated and stuff, and then they had to pretty much crawl their way back home somehow, and somehow they do. But then basically what I conclude, and from what my information from them, is that the possessed brother had done this to them, drugged them away, injured them, and then he returned before they could, because of his altered state, being possessed. He's able to, not be constricted by his mortal, bodily wounds. So anywho, we all basically take shelter in this fucking trailer park house, whatever, with the people in their wounded state, and we defend ourselves from this possessed guy. He returns again, and we're all pretty much just, trying to injure this guy. We're shooting him and all this stuff. And then, after a while of just waiting around and stuff like that, and tending to them and trying to figure out what's going on and just seeing the horror and stuff like that, it was like the most realistic horror movie I've ever lived and ever been a part of. Like, it was just the scariest dream damn near I've ever lived. And then I woke up due to my alarm. Thank God, my alarm for work just woke me up. And I have to say, it is one of the most traumatizing things I've ever experienced in a dream. And to know that going back to that same reoccurring dream, and living out that life, or whatever alternate dimensional life, or whatever it was, is just, it's horrifying. And to know that timeline can continue, or has continued, and that is some alternate, life. It's just so scary to know that life is continuing on somewhere, with or without my participation, whether I'm here or there. It is just horrifying, but yet fascinating too, because it, like I say, it happens over and over again. So, yeah, it's just, wow, I'm not even sure what to think, about, a couple things, what's real, is this life real? Is this life that I'm living right now an escape from that reality? Or is that reality an escape from this reality? Or it is just an alternate dimension to where I'm always the protector and trying to do the best that I can and protect people that I care and love about. It really makes you think and question, life in general. So There's that.